So the world of crypto is moving a little bit, mainly Bitcoin. Altcoin, not really, but we'll talk about that in a minute. It is mainly 100% Bitcoin season still. And it looks like people are starting to say come back, but they're not. I mean, I've come back. Hello, I've been away for 2 weeks. Hope you don't miss me too much. But when you actually zoom out, it's looking a bit better, but mainly because of the news. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about risk on, risk off, sentiment, all that kind of good stuff. So every single Wednesday, I'm going to talk about more the market as an overall long-term view. So if you like that sort of thing, please do subscribe for more. Don't miss a beat. And I am building some stuff in the background. I have been a lot more quieter recently, certainly during the times of, the sideways action. It is very much sideways for a lot of things, but I'll showcase it. Let me know in the comments if you're still here. Wave, please. First and foremost. Okay, we're going to talk about it. The extension to the ceasefire has created more short-term relief. That's kind of the obvious, and that is why mainly you could argue Bitcoin is pushing up, and we might get more of a green day in the stock market, which we will go on to in a bit more detail in a little bit. But other things as well, as I've alluded to it, markets reacting positively. This is the situation. We're in the red box of doom, essentially. Now, my biggest concern is I do not want a repeat of this, where we go into it again and go fucking nuke, and we just drop. My concern is that Donald Trump's going to allow us to go up to these zones, and then he'll go, I'm joking, and then off we go, right? That's just kind of my analysis, but you get the idea. So just be mindful of that. But that's my opinion on it. It is very much conflicting. US versus Iran, obviously, it is uncertainty. The thing is, it isn't really giving us much of a clear picture yet. There's still issues that we do need to address, and let's talk about that. Hugely in the Bitcoin season right now, which kind of makes sense. And you could argue the retail interest is relatively low, but we'll talk about this platform in a bit more detail in a bit, because the fundamentals are pretty clear. Risk on, risk off, there isn't anything right now. That's the problem. Bitcoin dominance is still sideways as fuck, literally, right? You could argue that is a big problem. The dollar still doesn't really know what it's doing. That's also a potential problem here. It's not going high, it's not going low, it's kind of floating around. But the big thing we need to talk about, stable currency dominance is still quite high. We could be coming down. That could be good for market participation, money coming back into the market. That's okay, right? But others/BTC, it's still flopping about. Others.D, yeah, similar picture, obviously. But my biggest concern, more than anything, is when you look at these altcoins. Now, sorry, altcoin lovers, we have been sideways as buggery for a very, very long time. Most altcoins genuinely just look like this. Whether that is an opportunity, whether that is a situation where maybe we need to be worried about, I don't know. So yeah, when we talk about like the fear and greed, the volume that's weak, and risk on, risk off, there's no real, I think, participation. There's only like maybe you could argue hype, that's done something. You could probably argue, Bitcoin's bounced a little bit. Ethereum's had a lot of hacks recently. I get it. So not perfect. So this is kind of a situation where we do need to talk about other things. And let's go on to them other things, and we'll come back to crypto because I think the market structure is key. The reason why I would talk about the situation, this, obviously the first bit here, UK inflation rises because of fuel, basically. Oil breaking out, geopolitical tension, it's created issues. That has then created rising energy costs, which has then created that situation. Why did gold rise for so long? Why a certain situation? Why is Bitcoin rising now? That there alone is a problem. And that, going back to it before, equals market uncertainty. The psychology is, why do I want to invest when my fuel's high? Why do I want to trade altcoins or whatever? Because I'm worried about my next food bill. All those kind of things becomes an issue when we tie it all back to this situation, which is why we do have relief, because it is looking like good news currently at the minute, because it might well allow us to get cheaper fuel prices, and then people will start to look a bit better with certain things. That's a situation. But when we go back and swing all the way back to Bitcoin, right? And we talk about where we are right now. Yes, we're broken out. Yes, we're doing that situation on that time frame. On the 3-day time frame, you can still argue honking downtrend. We maybe not gone low enough yet, and that's a big problem. So my overall thought process, and let me know in the comments if you agree or not, I don't think Bitcoin's gone low enough in terms of the market cycle situation. That is a problem. Altcoins are still showing signs of death. They're still sideways. They haven't really woken up yet. We are going into and towards the next resistance zone. That could be good, but weak volume. Potential rally into resistance is never good with Bitcoin if there's bad news on the horizon. You got to remember, Trump is like a puppet right now. He's playing the market and he's doing very well with the insider trading. He's doing fantastic. Fair play, top trader right now. But that becomes a bit of an issue when you're trying to participate yourself, okay? But going back to it, we look at likes of this, for example, going right into this is Ethereum, obviously, into the resistance zone. It's a bit of a problem. And we talk about, it's not fear, it's not euphoria, it's just there's not enough confidence yet in the market, I don't think. And that's the dangerous phase of it. And I think that's where people are going to get chopped to bits. And just be mindful of that. And as I say, if you want to trade, right, and I said this before, a little bit of a life hack with you, right? This is something that you may want to take away with you. When we're talking about momentum in crypto, and this is Blowfin, feel free to use the link below. There's 20% off on fees if you use my link. It's quite good. See the RSI. Put a big red fuck off box around the 50% mark. That's a huge thing you need to do, right? Because it gives you idea of momentum. And what you can see with Bitcoin, it respects it pretty well. And this is a very, very simple way of understanding, is the market bullish or is it bearish? You can do this on pretty much anything. If you've got a filter, it helps. And the one thing that I find for a lot of people trading or investing, they don't have a plan and they don't even filter it. So when we talk about obvious elements around technical analysis, and we talk about, say, stable currency dominance or the RSI or whatever way you want to look at it, right? Look at what the trend is telling you. And right now, when we look at the likes of Ethereum, it's only just gone bullish on the 3-day time frame, but we haven't quite broken out yet. People, as I say, might well get trapped. So in terms of my plan, I'm doing fuck all. That is not a signal for me to buy into anything right now. It's like, And even here, right? And I know people in the comments say, oh, but you could have bought here. It's not quite low enough, is it? For me, opportunity cost, it isn't low enough. I think if Ethereum goes down, say $1,000, I'll be fucking well interested. But 1,750, I'm not, definitely not. So I don't want to just ape in. Look at the key levels. Same with Bitcoin, key levels, right? And if you are in my Patreon or if you're in like the dashboard via Patreon, you'll know that my levels are fucking way down here, not here. That's just me, okay? Everyone's different, I know. Risk management is key. Position sizing is key. Don't over leverage or over risk. Don't be guessing, basically. That's a simple situation. So for me, when we talk about, obviously, my side of it, and I'll go through this in more detail, this is like the real noddy version of it. This is nowhere near finished, by the way. I have my cycle plan here, my allocations on here, right? This is a full deep dive of what I want to do. And my rebuy zones are fucking here, basically, long story short. And there is going to be a massive update to this, by the way. I will showcase it in a second. Because what I'm doing, I'm building a dashboard and I'm working to get some big boy data on this. It's going to be quite expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. So long story short, you'll get the premium dashboard, you'll get the Discord, and you'll get the education, the courses all in one place. Yeah, the Bitcoin market or the crypto market as a whole is slowly moving, but not enough yet. Just waiting for that clear one route, we're going that way vibe, especially for the altcoins, they're still sideways. But yeah, crypto is not easy. Anyways, hope you enjoy. And I am back every single Wednesday. Don't miss out.